Now at 6, growing concerns of the water situation in Caney, Kansas amidst the ongoing drought. We'll have the latest. Plus a dedication ceremony honoring the life of an influential community member in Southwest Missouri. And a pair of Missouri Southern softball standouts earn all MIAA honors. We'll hear from the team in sports.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Caney, Kansas is no longer under a water watch. Thank you for choosing KOAM News at 6. I'm Jalen Banks. It's thanks to rain that came in last week and enhanced the flow of Little Caney River. City officials say about half an inch of rain helps them by while waiting for more in the forecast. The city was in talks about adding a new primary and secondary water sources to help the city when in need. We will hear more about the water challenges in Caney tonight at 10. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us with the first look at the weather.
All right, and unfortunately we don't have any rain to talk about in the immediate future, but we do have some changes in our forecast. But right now, radar is all clear, including in Caney, Kansas, and that goes for most of the southern plains. Not a drop to be found, but there are some changes. We have temperatures generally been on a roller coaster over the last 36 hours. We were cool yesterday morning, warmed up in the afternoon. Then this morning we were down into the 30s and 40s once again. But this afternoon, because of all the dry air, it was able to warm up close to 70 degrees. If you're heading out this evening, we're expecting temperatures to drop through the 60s into the 50s, all the way down to 40 degrees by tomorrow morning. And looking down the lane, we do have some changes. A cool morning tomorrow, increasing clouds for your Wednesday, and then finally some storms in here by Thursday morning, and maybe a stormy pattern setting up, and I'll tell you about that in just a little bit.
A woman in Oklahoma says 4 of the 7 bodies found yesterday near Tulsa are those of her daughter and grandchildren. Authorities found the bodies on a property belonging to 39-year-old Jesse McFadden in the town of Henrietta. Jeanette Mayo says the sheriff's office notified her late yesterday that 4 of the victims were her daughter, Holly Guess, and her teenage grandchildren, Riley Allen and Michael Mayo, and Tiffany Guess. It's believed 2 of the bodies are missing teen girls Ivy Webster and Brittany Brewer. They were reported missing yesterday, last seen traveling with McFadden. Brittany Brewer's father shared that her death is his worst nightmare, and Brittany was the light of his life.
She always helped me. She helped me in my freaking paperwork in the office. She was very bright and beautiful young girl. She always played with her little sister, and I don't know how I'm gonna tell her, because she's like, Brittany's lost, Brittany's missing. And I gotta tell a 4-year-old that she's gone, and I don't even know how to do that.
McFadden, who was also found dead on the property, was convicted of rape in 2003. He was released from prison in 2020 and slated to stand trial yesterday for child sex crimes. Brewer said he had no idea Jesse McFadden was a sex offender, or he never would have let his daughter spend time with the McFadden family. Gender-affirming care for minors is now banned in Oklahoma. Republican Governor Kevin Stitt signed the bill into law last night. It bars healthcare professionals from providing gender-affirming care to those under the age of 18 in the form of surgeries, puberty-blocking medication, and hormone treatments. A healthcare provider accused of violating the new law could face felony charges. The ban takes effect immediately under an emergency clause. It leaves certain exemptions for minors already receiving treatment. Governor Stitt also vetoed a bill that would allow high school and college students in the state to wear tribal symbols and regalia. It would have allowed items like ceremonial eagle feathers to be worn on graduation caps or other school functions. Cherokee Nation today released a statement saying Oklahoma law protects the rights of Native American students to wear regalia and other cultural significant items during graduation ceremonies. The Public Service Company of Oklahoma and American Electric Power today announced more than $35,000 in robotics grants to 16 schools in the state. Of the 16 schools, 4 area schools received grants. Adair High School, Adair Middle School, and 2 separate teams with Grove Public Schools received money. Grants range from $250 to $3,200. The new commissioner for the Missouri Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development today visited Crowder College. The commissioner, Bennett Boggs, stopped to meet faculty and staff of Crowder as well as some of the students to get an idea for the college's culture. Boggs says he hopes Crowder can help the state goal in being the leading state in workforce development.
If we reach those goal numbers by 2030, we'll be the leading state in the Midwest on those angles. And that it sends a message to business and industry that Missouri is preparing a workforce and preparing a culture, a community ready to learn and to grow and ready to work.
After visiting Crowder, the commissioner met with faculty at Missouri Southern. The Carl Junction Area Chamber of Commerce this morning held a dedication ceremony in honor of Gary Stubblefield. Gary Stubblefield was a community advocate who recently passed away. The Chamber of Commerce wanted to celebrate his legacy. The ceremony included a presentation and the unveiling of his name on the chamber building following a ribbon cutting.
It's a blessing to see so many gather to honor Gary in this way. He loved Carl Junction so much, and he would have been humbled by all of this.
Stubblefield, also known as Mr. Carl Junction, passed away in March. Coming up, we'll take a look at the recovery of a Southern Missouri police officer following a crash. Plus, a Pitt State softball player earns MIAA Defensive Player of the Year. A Mansfield, Missouri police officer is taking it one day at a time, recovering from a crash 1 month ago. That crash, caused by a drunk driver, killed a Mansfield firefighter on a ride-along. Michael Hoffman has an update on an officer whose name is Shane Bryson and his recovery, honoring his friend's memory.
One person's actions changed the lives of hundreds of people, of a whole community in Mansfield.
This is Officer Shane Bryson. He's on the road to recovery after a crash. His chief, Tim Stewart, spoke to us on his behalf. He says he got the call around 1 a.m. on April 1st, saying one of his officers had been struck by a drunk driver.
I knew going to the call that there was at least one person deceased. I did not know who that was. And then, so going there, it was very panic mode. Very extremely worried for my officer and whoever else was involved.
The other man involved, firefighter EMT Justin Sanders, seen here at his memorial, died at the scene, and much like Officer Bryson, was known and loved by many in Mansfield.
I'll guarantee it that you wouldn't find a whole lot of people in Mansfield that didn't know Justin Sanders or Officer Bryson. That one person's actions changed a whole community, or affected a whole community. Just a bad decision.
Bryson is currently confined to a wheelchair, and he's recovering from a broken pelvis sustained in the crash, keeping him off his feet for weeks, bordering on months.
Probably last we heard, I think, was 8 weeks before he could put weight on it, and that was right after the surgery. And then past that point, we just got to kind of see what it's like after that.
Chief Stewart says it's crucial that they honor Sanders' memory.
We're extremely heartbroken over the loss of our friend, and but there again, that friend was such a good friend that we know that he would want us to continue on and do what we need to do as a department, and we'll just try to honor him.
That driver, Cody Skaggs, is charged with 2 counts of DUI, one resulting in a death and another resulting in the serious injury of a law enforcement officer. He's set to be in court again on Friday. A little bit later, the Webb City Cardinals look to keep their winning streak alive against the Joplin Eagles. Highlights in sports.
And the beautiful dry weather continues, but how long can it possibly last? Well, I'll have the answer when we come back. Well, folks, the gorgeous weather just keeps on going with cool mornings and warm afternoons, including this afternoon. Taking a look outside at Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Nothing to see but lots of indigo sky out there. And that's been the case for several days, and I don't think anyone's complaining, but we've been on a dry streak for quite some time, especially in southeastern Kansas, so we definitely need some rainfall, and I think we're going to have some. The allergies today were pretty bad, 9.9. Tomorrow, just a hair better at 9.7. Most of that is oak, mulberry, and walnut pollen. This afternoon, we made it up to 69 degrees after starting out at a chilly 41. The normals were 73 and 52, so we were below normal on that. And we're also below normal, of course, on the rainfall. About 4 1/3 inches behind so far for the year. And radar right now is all clear, and not just here, but across most of the Central Plains. We're watching an upper level low on the west coast, and it's basically been sitting there and spinning for the last several days. It's being blocked by this ridge of high pressure that is just very stubborn. This is called an omega block, and it eventually will start to move towards the east and start to increase our rain chances. But until then, we're going to have some pretty nice weather with northwesterly winds continuing. Temperatures right now are in the 60s and lower 70s, 73, one of the warmest readings in Sedan right now, but the dew points are still low and will remain low until we get a south wind to bring some moisture off of the Gulf of Mexico. But right now we're looking at dew points in the 20s and the 30s. Right now in Joplin, blue skies, 67 degrees, dew point of 28. Northwest wind at 16, was gusting higher up around 20 miles per hour earlier today. 67 in Pittsburgh right now with a dew point of 30, northwest wind at 9. Here's that ridge of high pressure that's been basically parked over the mountains. That's slowly going to be beaten away over the next few days, and as it does, this upper level low will start to move closer to us, and it will start to spit off pieces of energy at us, and as it does, that's when the chances of showers and storms really starts to increase across our area. In fact, there's a threat of severe weather on Thursday in western Oklahoma, and some of those storms could sneak over into our area late Thursday and early Friday. We're not expecting anything severe from that, as it will be coming through in the morning hours, but we will take the rainfall. Lows tonight are going to be in the 30s and 40s with northeasterly winds. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, increasing clouds with temperatures in the mid-70s, and then Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we'll see lows not as chilly, generally lows in the 50s. And look at this. Actually, some precipitation expected in our forecast Thursday morning. That moves away, but then we get redevelopment in the afternoon with highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s with south winds. Then a pretty good chance of showers and storms late Thursday into Friday morning with lows in the 60s on muggy conditions, and rainfall amounts are expected to be higher up towards the north, where some places could get close to an inch of rainfall by Friday evening. Most areas, though, will see around 3/4 of an inch or less, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Over the next 7 days, we have several chances of storms, so don't give up hope if you don't get enough rainfall. Wednesday looking pretty nice, and then the storms will start on Thursday and continues right on through our 10-day forecast with highs in the 80s and lows in the 60s. And of course, it's very important for people to have the app downloaded to their phone and keep abreast on the situation, because we could be looking at some severe storms here and there in that forecast.
Absolutely. And then I don't know if a lot of people know this, but there's a feature on the app where even when there's a lightning strike, it'll notify you, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool app.
Thank you, Sam. Still ahead, 15 local college softball players earn all MIAA recognition today. We'll have details. And Webb City Baseball aims for their 5th straight win at home against Joplin. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
Well, the MIAA has released its all-conference softball awards for the 2023 season. Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern combined today to put 15 players on the list. For Pittsburgh State, junior shortstop Gabby Schultz has been named the MIAA Defensive Player of the Year. Now, why? She did stuff like this and finished the season with just 1 error at shortstop, good for a .994 fielding percentage. She also hit .331 at the plate, with 46 hits, including 5 home runs. Her teammate Paxton Hayes is a first-team All-MIAA pick at first base and on the MIAA Gold Glove list. Hayes led the MIAA in RBIs, driving in 58 runs this season. She led the team in home runs and doubles. And a freshman, Heather Arnett, is a second-team All-Conference pick for the Gorillas. The former Frontenac Raider led Pittsburgh State in hits with 62 in 48 games. She also led the team in stolen bases. Arnett stole 26 bases this season, which is 5th most in the MIAA. For Missouri Southern, outfielder Yasmin Vargas is a first-team All-MIAA selection. She led the Lions in runs scored and was 2nd in the MIAA with 30 stolen bases in 31 attempts. At second base for the Lions, Leighton Withers is a second-team All-MIAA selection. She did everything this year for Southern. Withers led the Lions in hits, doubles, home runs, and RBIs. Her 44 RBIs are 6th most in the MIAA this season. You can check out the list of all 15 local players earning all MIAA recognition today on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. On the baseball side in the MIAA, the regular season is over and it's time for the playoffs. Both Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern have made the MIAA conference tournament. Pitt State is the number 4 seed in the bracket this week. The Gorillas were 21-12 against MIAA opponents in the regular season. They opened the tournament on Friday, kicking off a 3-game first-round series against Central Oklahoma. PSU took 2 out of 3 from UCO when they met in the regular season. Here's the team on their matchup with Central Oklahoma, and trying to grab some momentum after going 3-6 in the final 9 games of the regular season.
The biggest thing is we can't press. We just got to go play and compete each and every day. I thought we did a really good job of that early in the year, and boy, the last 9-12 games we've just been really average, trying to do too much, trying to be perfect, trying to make one at bat mean the whole day. But we got to continue to work, and hopefully we'll come out and play well this weekend.
That was a really good series, so I'm really looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be another really good series between us and them. But yeah, they had a lot of strengths. They had a really good pitching staff, and they could swing it a little bit. Our teams match up pretty well, so yeah, like I said, it's going to be really fun.
This is what you play 50 games for, is to be in the postseason. There's 4 teams in our conference that aren't doing this stuff. They're doing their exit meetings already. We're fortunate enough we're one of 8 teams with our uniform still out. We're going to try to get to be one of the 4 teams with our uniform out and take it from there.
The Webb City Cardinals are getting hot at the right time. The Cardinals are on a 4-game winning streak with just 9 days and 7 games left in the regular season. Now, Webb City aims to stay rolling this afternoon in a big conference matchup with the Joplin Eagles. Now, Joplin gets their leadoff man on in the first, but Kaylor Darnell, big strikeout there. Then moments later, Kinley Hood with a nice sliding grab over there at first base. We're scoreless going to the bottom of the first. Now, Webb City straight to work on offense. Sam Weller steals third here. Throw gets away and into left. That allows Weller to score. Cardinals go up 1-0. Now later on in the same inning, Sean Hunt up for the Cardinals, delivers a base hit into right. Cy Darnell scores on that. Webb City goes up 2 after 1. Low scoring game here, but Webb City earns a shutout and their 5th straight win, beating Joplin 3-0. It's great to see both Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern, 15 players combined on the All-MIAA list. We got some really good softball players in there.
You had to do a double take when I started seeing the script to tease it. I was like, 15? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Between 9 for Southern, 6 for Pittsburgh State, including Defensive Player of the Year in Gabby Schultz.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, that's it for sports. We're back with more after this. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM at 9 on Fox 14. A look at what's next for the city of Caney, Kansas, now that they're no longer under a water watch. Plus, local healthcare providers hold a celebration of life to donor organ and tissue donors, and how a shortage of more than 300 medications is impacting the U.S. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Today was the perfect day to give an apple to your favorite teacher. National Teacher Appreciation Day is celebrated on the Tuesday of the first full week of May. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt championed National Teacher Day back in 1953 as a way to honor teachers. Educators with the National Education Association solidified the date with a vote. Meanwhile, the National Parent-Teacher Association established the entire first full week of May as National Teacher Appreciation Week. I know you used to teach, right?
I did. I taught all the sciences and down at a private school, and I'm going to be at a school tomorrow in Columbus talking to kids about weather. So we have lots of weather to talk about. Nice weather tomorrow, but then storms roll in Thursday and continues right on through basically the 10-day period. Now, it's not going to rain every day all the time, but we're going to see those scattered storms here and there.
I know you've got a lot of games coming up. Hopefully that doesn't impact you, but what else do we have?
Joel Embiid, 76ers center, former Kansas Jayhawk, won his first NBA MVP award tonight.
Nice.
So shout out to him. He's been great to see his career trajectory.
I want to say the last 2 years he's finished second.
He has.
So
finally flipped it. Jokic finished second. Embiid's on top. Finally gets his first MVP.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we'll leave you with a video of a Goodyear blimp taking off at the Joplin Regional Airport. Be safe, and we'll see you guys all at 10. See you then.